Hello everybody, Pete Cossaboon, the Angel Encourager. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, thank you for joining me. Tonight I'm going to talk about who is Archangel Raguel. Archangel Raguel is known as the friend of God. I call him the negotiator. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. Hello, how are you doing today? So thankful that you joined me. Oh, and somebody else joined, Unveiled Glamour. Hello, how you doing? So Archangel Raguel I call him the negotiator. I very much use him to help to bring harmonious situations into play. Oh, hello, thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. He finds the perfect solution to conflict, no matter what it is. And sometimes, that perfect solution is not necessarily, what we think it might be. It's whatever brings everybody to the highest path. It's not so much about compromise, but it's more about just finding the way that, hello, I got a groupie, I love it. It's about finding that solution that's going to bring the highest good for everybody. It's so many times when we just, turn things over, hello, how you doing? When we turn things over to the universe, things just can so magically turn out. So many times like we'll go to bed at night and we have all these worries and doubts and fears about things. And if you just step into joy and just say I'm going to rest in joy, and I'm going to let the universe just kind of take care of everything. When you wake up in the morning, usually one of three things will happen. Either the situation's kind of corrected itself, or it doesn't matter that much to you, or a solution comes to you. One of those three things is going to happen. So it's all no matter what I tell people. It's kind of like when Abraham Hicks talks, she says, we're always bringing you the same message. And I'm kind of always bringing you the same message. If you will simply step into joy and have that faith, it's just going to work out. And that's something that I have to hear too. I mean, I have to hear it all the time. So many times, friends of mine and I will be together and we'll be worried about something or concerned about something. And then we'll be like, what if we turn this over? What if we allow, somebody else to help us with this? So Archangel Raguel is very good about, bringing together new connections. He also helps us with our relationships between humans and other angels. Sometimes, who are you turning it over to? Oh, well, I turn it over to what I would say angelic power. You need to hear this now. Good deal. So it's whatever force or whatever strength or whatever power that you resonate with. I get asked this so many times, about the angels and what are the angels and how do I see them. Number one, the angels are in every major religion that there is in the world, so they're familiar to just about everybody. But number two, it's just about how you connect. Whether that's with Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, whatever, the universe, source, God, however you connect is fine. How can I connect with the angels, with my angel? Well, now that's an interesting point when you say my angel. Usually everybody has at least two guardian angels. You can have more if you want them, if you call them forth. I deal with basically 14 archangels. There are actually many more, but there's 14 that I work with. The way to connect with them is to basically talk to them. It's to recognize them. It's to call them forth, and that can be in every. I call them forth. At least I attempt to in every moment in life, whether it's thanking them for what they bring to me, or if there's a certain situation that I would like to have a different way. And it can be to the universe, a castle is the same as a button. So there's no difference in what you're asking for. Some people try to wait till these huge tragedies come to them before they start seeking higher power, but they want to be with you in every moment and be bringing what they can to, or bringing you your highest good. Sorry, I was watching this right here. Bringing to you your highest good in all moments. When did I start feeling this way? Well, I don't know if you've heard my story before, but it's an interesting story. Last year, I was in a wealth creation group, and there was a lady there that was an angel intuitive medium. And I told her, I said, I would like to, do you call on them in lieu of God? Well, to me, they're like my source to God. I almost see them as sort of like a my way to God, or all that is, or universal source. It's however you think of it. So anyway, I told this lady last year, I said that I would like to learn how to do that. I was one of these types that always wished I could be intuitive. And she started training me, and she stopped after the second session, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said, I can't train you anymore because you're already doing this. And I was just kind of blown out of the water, didn't know what she was talking about. And all of a sudden, just these, these knowings and things came to me. Clients started coming to me, emailing me. People started coming to me with different things. And then I had the same experience earlier this year. I wanted a little bit more growth in my path. So I went to a famous medium in Canada. And second session, she stopped and she said, Pete, you're doing this and you're more powerful than I am. And when I say powerful, what I really mean by that is just that I'm more of an I'm very much an allower. That's the only thing that's special about Pete. There's no special powers or anything that I have that are not available to anybody else. It's just that I just listen to the guidance that I get and I just go for it. I'm very much a leaper. I don't really spend a whole lot of time, thinking over things. If I get the real intuition, to do something, I just jump into it. And I can tell you, my life is completely transformed since last year. Since last year, I had worked for a major client that I just could not stand the job, and was not feeling that well physically, and all these other things were happening. And now, basically my business is taking off. I'm in the best physical, mental, emotional shape I've ever been in my entire life. And I feel like I'm right at the precipice of absolutely everything I've ever desired coming right into my lap, and it being a point of where I need to start really kind of thinking about, what else do I want to bring in? Because, it is awesome, and it's also so very ready for all of you. If you have considered the possibility of these forces being nefarious. No, because they all come into you in love. It's about you learning your body, mind, spirit connection. And for you, because we have, our Maker has given us these beautiful systems that will tell us, where we are in relation to everything, and what forces are bringing us to our highest good and which forces are not. Now, for me, the way this works is if I get a pain right here, I know that's my ego challenging me. If I get a pain in my gut, I know that that's angelic, what I would call angelic power or higher power, telling me that's not my right path. If I get shivers on my shoulders, I know that's them dancing up and down and saying that that's the right step. And the way I've known it is just from experience. It's from number one, just trusting it, and number two, from the experience of when I have taken those intuitions, that it has brought me and others to highest good and brought me to love. But good and bad. Oh well, not if you're in tune, sweetheart. Not if you're in tune, and you because there's a difference. There's a definite difference in level of frequency. Because I have 4 clients before gone into what I would call the lower energies. I only did that because they needed to know something that had happened that they were not aware of, and it was, there was no doubt the difference in the frequency. It's just something that you have to experience. But it's just if it feels like love, if it's love, then it's kind of like I think that who was that judge that said he didn't know what pornography was, but he knew when he saw it. It's the same thing. Love. You may not be able to describe love, but when you see it. So that's just part of the walk in faith. And that's what faith is. Faith is knowing without seeing, and so that's absolutely what it is. And what I always tell everybody is that to step into joy, to take inspired action, and walk in faith. And faith is something that's a little bit misunderstood, because faith really is believing without seeing, without having any kind of evidence that you have been taught to really rely upon, to walk you through. And if you talk to anyone, you talk to Oprah, you talk to anybody that is really, you believe in good and bad and good energy. Well, there are all energies surround us, but it's what you focus upon. It's absolutely what you focus upon, because it's almost like a radio dial, if you think of it that way. If we are receiving stations, we are also broadcasting stations. And so whatever you're tuned into is what you're going to bring in. Because that's the same thing. Like if you go into a court of law, how 2 witnesses can experience the same situation and have completely different experiences and describe them in 2 different ways. It's because that is how they're tuned to see it. There's a particular part of the brain called the reticulating. Well, I'm going to get it wrong, but there's a part of the brain that decides what part of all the senses that are surrounding you at any one time that you're going to notice, because we have millions and billions of points of data coming to us at any moment in time. How warm it is, how cold it is, where we are spatially, how we feel, what's happening inside of our body, what we're seeing, what we're hearing. And we could not take in all this data at one time. So it's depending on what you're focusing on to what your brain decides that you're going to actually receive and transmit into your brain and process. And so that's really what it's all about. It's the same system. It's what you're focusing on. If you focus on the good, then only the good energies are going to come into you. If you focus on the bad energies are going to come into you. How can I say this? I can say this because 8 years ago, I reached what I call my highest, lowest moment. And what I mean by that is before then, I thought that the best way to live was to focus on my fears, because I figured if I focused on my fears, no matter what happened, I'd be able to handle it. Well, what was happening was I was pulling all my fears into me. And guess what happened? Every fear I ever had, except for one, came true. And it was because I pulled them in. And that was my highest, lowest moment where I lost absolutely everything. And the only thing I had left to do was depend upon the spirit. So if you're focusing on the good, could bad parts of these spirits go unnoticed? Well, it's it's thus being deceived. I think we're kind of getting into some what's the word? Some parsing of data. I mean, no. If you focus on the good parts, it's almost like say you were on like a 2-level ramp on a road, and you could take the higher ramp or you could take the lower ramp, and say the lower ramp is flooded. Well, if you take the higher ramp and you don't go through the water, does the lower ramp flood affect you in any way? Not really, because you've taken the higher. I hope that makes some kind of sense to you. Hi, how you doing? Because I mean that doesn't mean that the bad energy isn't there, but if you simply take the different road where the bad energy isn't, then it's not going to affect you. And if you're, so many of us live in this, state of fear where we're constantly worried about things. It keeps us small. It keeps us enclosed. It keeps us from stepping out there into the world. But what happens with people that are in true fear? They never step out of their home. They're never able to experience life. They never meet somebody new. They never try something new. They never go anywhere new. And that's not life. Life is about expansion. Life is about movement. Life is about trying new experiences and becoming a new person in every single moment. That's what life is. And you cannot do that in fear. So if that was true, where bad and good forces could affect you at the same time, then life would not exist. It couldn't exist because we would all be too afraid to move forward. No new businesses would ever be formed. No new relationships would ever be formed. Babies would never be born. No one would go to school. No one would buy a new car. Nothing would happen if we all stayed in this state of fear. So I hope that kind of made some kind of sense to you tonight. So, but I love having all the questions, and I will entertain. As long as it's respectful. So I will entertain any questions anybody has. I absolutely love engaging with the audience. Does anybody have any kind of questions or anything like that? We were talking tonight about Archangel Raguel, who is I call him he's the friend of God. I call him the negotiator because he's really good about finding the ways for different forces to. You'd love a reading. Well, I'll tell you what. I would absolutely love to do a reading for you. Would you give me a specific topic or subject that you'd like to have a reading done on? And I would adore doing one for you, absolutely. And I do that on here for people that ask. Just mind me, I'm going to take a little drink here. While we're waiting for Miss Wardrobe to give me any kind of a topic or subject, what are you going to read from? I do it all kinds of different ways on my personal life and business. I use some angel cards from Doreen Virtue, the Archangel Power cards. I don't necessarily need the cards, but sometimes it's a really kind of a fast way to kind of connect. Absolutely. After I finish this one, so personal and business life. Like I say, the cards are just kind of a fast way for me to connect. They're also, most people are familiar with the cards, so it's really easy for them to see and understand the messages that are being given. So, Miss Wardrobe, I am understanding to do for you what I would call a 4-card story pool. And I still need to manifest this larger table. So hopefully the angels have a bigger table in store for me. Because this table I work off of is really, really small. So I do what I call a full 4-card shuffle here. A 4-time shuffle. Let's see what we got for you. Okay, personal life and business. All right. So the first card I pulled for you is the Nurture card, and somebody asked me the other day to hold it up longer in case they wanted to get a screenshot. So the first card is the Nurture card. This is very much about you taking care of yourself and those others that are involved in this. That even includes your business. Perhaps it's in a kind of a growing stage. So it's about just knowing that you need to feed it, you need to take care of it, but you also need to feed and take care of yourself. Oh, you're so sweet. We're actually changing the office, so I don't know if we're gonna have space for it. Actually, we're probably selling the office. So anyway, I love that. Is so sweet of you. So it's about taking care of yourself. Absolutely, we can do that. It's absolutely. There's somebody else going to be in front of you, sweetie, but we'll get to you in just a moment. So it's about you taking care of yourself, taking care of those that are involved, and taking care of your business. It's so easy for us to, especially when we're trying to build a business or in your personal life, say you're trying to work on a relationship, it's so easy for us to forget about ourselves and put ourselves aside and put these other things that are more important. I know I am certainly guilty of that. That's for some reason I step totally out of Pete when I'm trying to take care of something else. And it's so much about, everything starts with you. Your path starts with you. You are the point of contact for your own life. So you have to take care of yourself. And you really almost can't take too good of care of yourself, because it's your point of reference. It's your point of happiness and joy that everything is sparked from. So start with that right there. The second card for you, and I'm really excited, is the Prosperity card. All right, so this has to do with both your personal life and your business. So I very much see, some really awesome things happening for you. And then that was your second card. So I'm really excited for you in that. I could see lots of things, coming to you in that. Prosperity doesn't mean just money. It just means, abundance and fulfillment in all kinds of different ways for your personal life and your business. So I'm really excited for you on that one. The third card for you is Archangel Michael with crystal clear intentions. So what's really important about this one right here is to realize that you are, like I was saying before, the point of contact for your life. You are the point of reference for your entire life. So it's very important for you to be very clear about what it is in your personal life and your business that you want. What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want to bring forward? If you're talking about, like, say, a relationship or a home or something like that, specifically, how is it that you want it to feel? What colors do you want it to be? What is it that you want to bring into your life? Because you are absolutely able to ask for and bring in whatever it is. Anything you want to be, do, or have is absolutely possible to you. The angels right now are bored to tears, waiting for us to call forth and ask them for specifically what we want. So it's about becoming specific. Right now is a great time to become mindful, because so few people are mindful. If you walk into a room filled with people and you have the clearest cut intention of what it is that you want, almost every time, and probably every time, you're going to get what you want, because you're the only one that walks in with that clear-cut intention. Because what everybody else is doing, everybody else is reacting to all the different forces that are around them. But if you walk in with a clear-cut focus of, this is what I wish to attain when I walk into this room and when I walk out of this room, you are most likely going to get your way, because you're going to be the only one who stays focused, who keeps their intention on that. And it's the same way in life. Make your intentions clear. Know what it is that you want. Know what it is that you want to attain, and don't worry about the hows or the whys don't worry about the hows or the whos and that kind of thing. You just worry about the whats. What is it that you want? Because that's what you are a powerful creator, and that's what I want you to step into. So now the last one for you is the Courage card, and I'm really getting that for you because it's really going to take you. It's really about you stepping into that source of power for yourself, to realize that you are the creator of your life. For you to hold in that, for you not to be swayed by people that are telling you, oh, you shouldn't want that, or this isn't available to you, or that's not possible. So many times it's really important for us to sometimes keep our dreams and our inspirations and our aspirations kind of to ourselves, and be really careful about who we tell them, because there are all kinds of people out there who are the bubble poppers. And you know what I'm talking about. When you go in there and you're so excited about something, you say, I'm going to do this. And they're like, well, nobody gets that. They discount all the success stories that have ever occurred. And, it's often said that a prophet is not really honored in their own hometown. And I'm not calling myself or anything a prophet, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Alrighty. All right, sir. I'm going to block you. You have a good day, okay? So anyway, I appreciate you and so forth. So anyway, getting back to that, we do have some wild people that come up, and I appreciate, and I'm certainly asking that he be blessed, and I send complete and total love to him. I'm so glad that resonated with. Yeah, I know what you mean. Are there any other further questions that you have about that, sweetheart? I'm so appreciative of you asking that question. All right, and we had another person. The third person wanted to ask about, oh, about what, sweetie? I'm all is well for me. I'm just glad that I answered. Oh, you're very, very welcome, and thank you so much for asking. So we had another person that wanted to ask a question. The third one was about somebody that's transitioned over. There was a second question from someone else. Do they want to come forward and tell me? I've been caring for my own wishes since years, and not been caring for my own. Oh, well, then that needs to change, because you are the point of control. You are the point of power. You are the point of reference for your entire life. So, it's very important for you. You can't love someone else more than you love yourself. That you have to fill up your own cup first. Just like they say on the airlines, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can put it on someone else. You have to save yourself if you're going to, if the boat turns over, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of someone else. And that's the same thing in life. Now there's a person who relies on me for his health. Well, and you have to have your own health first. So you have to take care of your own self. And if you truly love this person, you feel against a wall. Well, let's hold kind of a, how about we get together? There's bunches of people here in the room. Let's have actually a what I call an intention circle, which is actually in the Bible, where if two or more come together with the same knowing and the same belief, and they call it forward, it is so. So we're going to ask. I'm going to ask right now for Archangel Raphael, who's the Archangel of Healing, to come forth. I'm going to ask everybody to spiritually hold hands with me. We're coming together as two or more with the same knowing, with the same belief, and we're asking for perfect angelic health, and we're asking for perfect angelic situation and strength for this poor dear or beautiful dear to be able to take care of this situation, to have the energy to take care of themselves and take care of the loved one, and to bring this forth into perfect angelic situation. And so it is, and it is done. So now the question has been asked, the prayer has been made. So now the step for you to do is to step into the knowing, to step into the calling forth. You've already asked, you don't have to ask again. It's like when you're at a restaurant and you order a meal, you don't order it twice, you just order it once. And then you're knowing that your meal is going to come to you. And it's about proclaiming that. That's exactly what Jesus did in the Bible. When he asked for something, he would then give thanks and he would proclaim it forward. Well, I'm grateful for you coming forward, and I love connecting for people, and I'm so excited to see the change that's going to happen. It's going to happen in yourself and your heart first. You're going to feel, just an ease and a release. What you can do if you feel overwhelmed, you can make what I call a get-to-do list. And what that is it has two columns. It has yourself, and it has whatever your universal power is that you accept, whether it's God, Jesus, whoever it is. You write down the things that you know that you can accomplish under yours, and everything else that you know needs to be accomplished that you don't feel you can, put it in that other column and just call it forth and say, universe, I can't take care of this. God, Jesus, I can't take care of this. I need your help. I am standing in your help, and I am so thankful that you're going to take care of these things for me. And then just expect it. Expect it. Step into that faith. Step into that faith, knowing that they're going to take care of all of your needs, because that's what they're there for. Like I say, the angels are bored. They're so bored. So who would like to come forward? Does anybody else have any reading that they would like for me to do for them? Hello, Candace. How you doing, sweetheart? Cool. That's it. You trust. You stand in that trust. Don't let anything stop you from that trust. You know that the 7 people who are in this room plus me, held you in that space, and we're holding you in that space right now. Positively fabulous. I love it. Oh, you good girl. You are so worth it. You are so worth it. Yeah, resonate. There you go. I know what you meant. Yes. So that first lady that would like, or the first person that would like a reading, if you'll just give me a subject or a topic that you would like to bring forth. And self-worth is an amazing subject to really talk about, because I want to talk to you a little bit about how the angels see us. So, we are a part of all that is. What I mean? The Bible even talks about us being part of God and God being part of us. And, you know, imagine what we've done. We have, on this earth, we have decided to kind of put ourselves forward into this human experience, having been part of all that is. So we've almost kind of diminished ourselves to be in this human experience. And why have we decided to do that? Because we are the expanders of the universe. We are the ones, you know, that pull it forth. Personal life as well, truly primary relations. Okay, so we are the ones that have decided to, you know, help expand the universe simply by our being. Certainly, honey, in just a moment, okay? The angels think that we are just amazing. They think that we are amazing, that we have decided to somewhat diminish our experience by being in this human experience just for the love of expansion of the universe. So if you ever, and also I want you to know that each one of us has our own particular energy signature. So just imagine how all of us are energy and all of us are necessary for the functioning of the universe. And if one of us was missing, the entire universe would absolutely collapse. Now, if that doesn't tell you how worthwhile you are, and think of this too, that this planet and the solar system and the Milky Way, you know, we don't know if any other creatures exist on any other planet. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't really know. But just think of all that has been created and how the Earth is just the particular distance from the sun, and the moon is the particular distance from the Earth, and we're spinning at just the right angle and speed in order for us to have life on this planet. Everything has been orchestrated for you. There's the perfect mix of oxygen and nitrogen and hydrogen in the air, and you know, there's just enough water. Everything is just so perfectly orchestrated so that we can have life. Now think of how worthwhile you are. That's how worthwhile you are. There's all kinds of stuff that has been put together just so that you be. And that's all you have to do is be. I mean, love is being sent to you. You are love and you're surrounded by love. So somebody asked for something with personal relationship. So we're going to do a card reading there. All right, I'm getting a 4-card pull for you as well. Getting one of the 4-card pulls today. Thank you, sweetheart. And I'm putting forward for you to step into that source of self-love and self-worth. Archangel Jophiel actually is coming forward for you. She's the Archangel of Beauty. She's also the Feng Shui Archangel, and she really works with decluttering. She finds beauty and order. So she wants you to really work upon your physical spaces and on your mind spaces to only allow in what actually resonates with you and what actually brings you your highest good. So many times we will, especially in our mind and in our home spaces, we will simply walk around clutter that really gets in our way. And it's about making our spaces beautiful and functional for ourselves. So start working on whatever it is you can, whether it's just the sock drawer or whatever, you know, your closet or maybe a room in your home, or you know, maybe just in your mind. Start working on just getting those things out of the way, decluttering, and making that space more habitable for you in your own personal space. And it's going to do wonders for your own self-worth once you see that you take that time for you and start taking extreme self-care as well. Okay, this is about personal life. Let's see what we've got here. All right, okay. So the first card for you is moon cycles. Now what that one says to me, they want you to know, and this is Archangel Raguel, who's really a very powerful archangel, deals with the moon. Moon cycles, it's really talking about the ebb and the flow of life. So it's talking about how there are times for growth. There's times, just like the Bible says, there's a time to reap, there's a time to sow. It's the same kind of idea. I always think of with the ocean. The ocean doesn't ever really lose any water. So if there's not a wave coming into shore at you, that just means that the energy is building up for the next wave. And it's as we allow that wave to come to us. Now, if it's been a long time since we've had a wave, that just means the wave's going to be even bigger. So if the wave's not coming into you, get excited, because that means that the huge ball of energy is getting ready to ramp up and come to you. And it's about not judging those moments when you're feeling the water kind of receding from you, but realizing that just means that's your time to kind of collect data. That's your time to really realize about what you want. That's your time to get organized. That's your time to, get things, focus upon what you want and that type of thing. And in a personal relationship, it's the same thing. When things kind of ebb away, it's about starting to take more care about yourself. It's about no one can love you more than you love you. You know what I mean? And the surest way that you can have somebody go away from you is if you start getting desperate, start running towards them. So if something is kind of pulling back, then you start taking care of yourself, preparing for something greater. Absolutely, that's it. Now the second card for you is the clairsentience card. So it's so much about just kind of recognizing the different knowings that are coming to you, and realizing what's coming to you out of love and what isn't coming to you out of love. I mean, you know the difference when it comes into your head, whether it's gently coaxing you into a way that's the higher place for you, or if it's something that's kind of trying to tear you down. If it's tearing you down, it's not from spirit. If it's gently lifting you up and telling you how beautiful and great you are, then it's from spirit. So it's about just starting to trust and listen to those different knowings that are coming to you. A third card is the breathe card. So what this is saying, the breath is so powerful. The breath is so powerful for releasing. It's also about just relaxing and taking the time and realizing that it isn't all up to your effort. It isn't something that you really need to strive over. It's about just taking that breath, relaxing, letting it go, and knowing that all is well. And all you need to do is get into the flow, get into the stream, and allow the flow and the stream to just gently take you down. It is about inspired action, but it's not about force or effort that's going to get done. It's about just allowing it to be, allowing it to flow. And the last card for you, I'm really excited, is the passion card. So how about that? How exciting is that? I was so excited for you because it was about personal relationship that's coming forward. So it's really about that is what's coming up for you, the passion, whether this is a romantic relationship or not. There's still passion in any kind of personal relationship that you have, and it's just showing you that is coming forward for you. As you learn to breathe and relax. There's the parasympathetic and there's the sympathetic systems in the body, and when we're nervous and when we're anxious and that type of thing, our passionate side really can't take over because we're in that monkey brain. So it's when we breathe and we relax. You find this out if you study anything anything, especially with chiropractor or anything like that. You find out that that's very true. It's when you breathe and you relax and you come back into your body, and you let your body just kind of like be as it is, and not get into that monkey mind, all worried and stressed and all that kind of stuff. That you really are able to enjoy your body and the pleasures of the body, and have that passion again. Like I say, this can be either a romantic relationship or not. It doesn't matter. You still want to be in your own body to experience it and to enjoy it, and because when we're in that kind of that state of we can't even have the simpleness of a friendship. So it's very much about that. So I'm very excited. That was a very good reading for you. I hope did that resonate for you? I hope it did. All right. Is there anybody else that wanted a reading tonight? Okay, and great. Now, I believe it was Ellen. Did you have a reading you'd like to have done? Okay. You spoke to me about courage. Sorry to ask you, but in the reading you spoke to me about courage. Yes, it was about about you stepping into the courage. It was about you stepping into that courage to be able to stand in your own space. Because they were really asking you to become very clear, about the intention, the crystal clear intentions. And that's very much what I got for you. It's about you having your crystal clear intentions and not anyone else's, and not letting anybody, tell you, that you can't have what you want. It's about you knowing what you want, and you standing steady in that, and about perhaps you becoming very selective about who it is you tell, what it is that you like to call forward. Make sure you tell somebody that will actually believe in you, because so many people you will tell them about something that you want, and they're going to be the first ones who are going to try to pop the pin and say, you can't have that, or that's not possible, or you don't have the education or the money or the relationships or the blah, 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 whatever excuse it is that you can't have it. Jesus and his own people not believing in him. Did I say anything about that? That's just a really, I've read the Bible through myself 5 times, and that same verse came to me this week. It's kind of amazing how many people who proclaim the name of Jesus don't come forward in love. Kind of like that gentleman before. He obviously was not coming forward in a space of love. Good, excellent. But it is, when people sometimes like to throw up the name Jesus in front, and then they come through out of fear or really hatred in some way. I mean, I especially know this because I am gay, you know, and we just went through, you know, that experience. And I'd just like to convey a little bit the day that gay marriage was actually, you know, brought forth from the Supreme Court. I was in Nashville at the Nashville Pride, and there were two different sets of detractors there, and I just blew them a kiss. Because to be honest with you, I am so thankful for the detractors, because if it wasn't for them, they would not have given the force and the energy to the LGBTQ community to pull forward marriage equality. So I'm actually very thankful for people that have taken the time and the energy to tell me, you know, to tell me whatever they were going to tell me, because they're the ones that actually made it happen. So thank you. And I actually do send them great love. You know what I mean? They're coming from some space of hurt and dismay in themselves. And I don't pity them, because I don't pity anybody, because that's really a source of seeing them as powerless. But I just come to them from a source of, you know, everything comes from love in some way, and I'm going to decide to look at it from the source of love, of, you know, how it brings me to my highest good. That's my own personal choice. So I'm sorry, I've completely gotten off track. Was I doing a reading for somebody? Somebody bring me forward. I know there were like 2 or 3 of you that wanted me to do a reading. Do you need particular in order to ask for? No, you don't. Now it's easier for me as I've studied them and I've talked to them, because it's easier for me because to me each different archangel has almost like a different focus. So like if I want to do health, I ask for Archangel Raphael. If I want abundance, I'll call forth Archangel Ariel. You know, depending on what I want. If I want protection, Archangel Michael. But you know, Archangel Michael is a great go-to kind of jack of all trades archangel. If you want to go actually to my Facebook page, The Angel Encourager, you can sign up for my newsletter. I send out a weekly newsletter focusing on a different archangel and bringing forth a different topic. I'm not even sure what this Sunday's is going to be. They haven't really come forward to me with it. But you know, that's one great way that you can learn about, you know, the different archangels and who they are if you want to learn more and more and more. Oh, yeah, and so I'm actually going to be coming out with some programs and some books and different things. I'm about to have my website. I'm having my website completely revamped. I'm changing all my graphics and the whole. I'm so excited about it. All these things are really coming. Like I was saying before, all this stuff is happening for me right now, and I'm so excited. And I want y'all to kind of go down this journey with me. And it's not about, you know, not about the money or anything that I'm getting. I know that as I put out great value comes back to me in some way, and I'm just resting in that. And I just love, you know, connecting. Oh, thank you so much. I am so excited too, and I'm totally going to take y'all down the path with me with it. But I would adore anybody going to my Facebook page, The Angel Encourager. And you can ask me questions there, and I get back to you. I actually respond. So, because I love touching base with people. I have somebody that emailed me just today and asked me to, you know, for some help with some things. And so, you know, I absolutely connected with that person and plan on Skyping with them and helping in any way I can, because that's, you know, I just can't. I can't see somebody staying in a space, you know, where if there's something that the angels through me, you know, can help with, you know, I am so totally there and there to help. I just, you know, especially when it involves children, you know, because I have a beautiful little daughter myself, and I can't do it. Gotta help. So I just want you to know that my heart's in this, and that, you know, if you do want to contact me through the Angel Encourager on Facebook, or if you'd like to get on my newsletter. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. And blessings to you too, darling. I would love you to be on there and connect with me in any way. So back to, did anybody have a reading they wanted me to do? Ellen, did I do yours? Did I do yours, Ellen? So you know how I get into the shiny squirrel. I get into the shiny squirrel, and I kind of sometimes, okay, so who has a subject or a topic they would like for me to do a reading for them on? I'd be more than happy to know about my love life. Okay, about your love life. Interesting. All right, let's do that. All right. So this is for Delitza. Seems like we're doing a lot of love and relationships tonight. So what's really important in love and relationships, and this is very true to my heart right now too, is something that I'm learning. And it's about staying in your own space. I mean, about a month ago, and I've related this to some of y'all, I was in a 5-week relationship where I completely stepped out of my own joy. My happiness I just put aside for this other person and felt head over heels. They completely left me high and dry, and it totally broke me down. And what it taught me, it really taught me about how to love myself through a broken heart. And it taught me how any healthy relationship is built with two people that stand in their own space and decide to come together and join and have a wonderful experience together. That's really what it's all about. So in relationships, realize that it's about standing in your own space, about not getting lost, in that other person, and loving yourself. I want you to fall head over heels in love with yourself first, because when you fall head over heels in love with yourself, that's when somebody else falls head over heels in love with you. So it's about doing that and staying in that space. So I'm going to do a 4-card pull for you, and this is about a love life. Okay. All right, so your first card is, again, the moon cycle card. So we've talked about that a little bit earlier. That really is talking about how life has an ebb and a flow, knowing that it comes back and forth. If the wave isn't coming to you right now, that just means the energy is building up for you later. And for you to get excited if that wave is not coming to you right now, to just know that there is an ebb and a flow to life. To me, I see it as the ocean doesn't ever lose water. It just, so it's not like anything is lost. It's just this building up for a later wave, so later on. So, and not to judge those moments with the ebb and the flow, especially in relationships. There are times when there's lots of passion, and then it kind of moves back and forth. And it's about not judging those moments, but just to realize that that's the natural flow. The second card for you is the Life Review card. So what that says to me is this is a time for you to really reflect upon the relationships that you've had, to really see what has brought you happiness in the past from relationships, and what has not just given you relationship happiness, and to really realize that you are the one that calls forth everything. You are the point of reference for your entire life. The path for you starts with you, and for you to really start to pick out, like, I liked this about this one, I like that about that one, I liked this about this one, and to start recognizing the traits in people, because you can start seeing traits of behaviors that remind you of so-and-so that you didn't like, or remind you of so-and-so that you did like, and you can kind of, that's part of why we see this, and why we kind of categorize sometimes people, because they do sometimes fall into patterns. So it's about, you lost connection? Okay, well, your first card was about moon cycles, about the ebb and flow of life. So it's about not judging, the ebb and flow coming back and forth again. It's about you just realizing that there is an ebb and flow to life, even with passion, and that sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's less. So not to judge that, but just to know that that's the natural rhythm. The second one was the Life Review card for you, which is so talking about it's time for you to take stock in what has worked in the past with relationships, what hasn't worked in the past in relationships, what you've enjoyed about relationships, what you haven't enjoyed relationships, and start hand-picking the parts that you want, and start focusing on those parts that you want to bring into your life. And also possibly to start seeing patterns in people. Like, if this person that you didn't like did this, kind of is acting like that person, then to kind of put that together and be like, I'm going to have to really, really look at this person and see if that's, if the same pattern has been involved. The next card is the counselor one. So what this is really talking to me about right now, this is really talking about how you start asking those that you trust to give you messages or what they think about this person. Perhaps you are so into this person you're not able to get that full mind view of how they're treating you and how they're reacting to you. And it's about asking your trusted friends and family, what do you think? How do you see this? What's happening? And I so use my friends for that, because Pete's the first one that'll just like totally give up Pete. So I'm totally surround myself with my gal friends, and I'm like, how is Pete doing? How am I acting in this space? When is texting too much, and when what should I do or not do? So it's about surrounding yourself with those counselors that you really trust, to help you in that situation. And the last card for you is clairsentience. And it's about being your own counselor. It's about realizing that you are getting those messages, into your mind and into your body space that are telling you, what's good for you, what's bad for you, and to really start, recognizing those patterns, and to really see, what's coming to you, what messages you're getting, and to just recognize that and allow that, and so much, so many times we get messages, and especially if we're not used to it, we don't really listen to it. But it's about just kind of listening to what brings us up, what makes us feel good, what isn't tearing us down. So start listening to those messages that you're getting, not only from yourself, but from your friends and family as well. And I hope that resonates with you. I think you might have lost connection a couple times, so I hope you got your message. Hey Mike, how you doing? All right, so I know that a couple other people wanted to get a question answered. Does anybody else have a topic or anything like that? While I'm waiting there, I just got a text from somebody. So once you connect with my word and your password. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that next. We will see if he comes forward. Hang on one second for me, y'all. Somebody just gave me. Okay, all right. Can't call it. We'll watch this. Okay, all right. Well, we will absolutely be reading around my home situation. I certainly will, Candace. Let's take care of the lady. And Mike, I'm around for this weekend. You've got my contact, so you know how to contact me. So you just let me know, because I certainly do want to help you, and would love to work with you in any way. And that invitation goes out to all of my friends out there. I'm here for you. All right. So we're going to see about connecting with your boyfriend. Now that's my particular. Sometimes transition souls come forward for me. Sometimes they don't. We're going to see if he comes through for us in a card reading. If there's anything in particular he wants you to know. I want you to first know that in order to be able to connect either with angels or with transition souls, once they've transitioned, they're really in a state of joy. And that's how we connect with them, is by stepping into joy, because that's the vibration that we're at. I was speaking earlier about some sort of like radio frequencies. And, in order to be on the same frequency for either transition souls or angels, and to be able to understand what they're trying to tell us, we need to be on that frequency. And their frequency is in joy. So many times when we're not in joy, when we're in doubt and we're in worry, we feel lonely, we feel like we're not getting any guidance. It's because we've shut ourselves off up here. But when you step into joy, you just automatically are right back into, all that is, and you're getting those, those clear messages, from the divine, however you think of it. So it's about stepping into joy, and then you're going to be able to actually get those messages from either the angels. Did you miss it all, sweetheart? If you can hear me now, it's about the moon cycles. I'm hoping you can hear me now. It's about the moon cycles. So realizing that there's an ebb and flow to everything. It was about, I'm trying to remember, it was about you, I can't remember what the second card was. The third card was counselors. So it's about surrounding yourself with people that are going to tell you, what they think about people. Oh, the second card was life review. So it was about thinking about in the past of good relationships and bad relationships, picking out the good parts, and start recognizing if somebody's following a pattern of being that bad part. So recognizing that. The third card was the counselor card. So it was about surrounding yourself with friends and family that you trust to let you know where you are and if this person is the right one for you. And the last one was about listening to the clear guidance that's coming to you, from spirit. If it feels good, if it's lifting you up, it's from spirit. If it's tearing you down, giving you judgment, it's not from spirit. So it's about opening yourself up to those voices as well. So I hope that's helpful to you. All right. So we're seeing if this lady's boyfriend is going to come forward for us. I believe she said he passed away 2 years ago. So first of all, it's about stepping into joy, because that's where if your question is he okay? He is okay, because he is now in a state of bliss, and he's in a state of joy, and that's how he will completely connect with you. And it is very possible for us to not only have relationships with those that have transitioned, but we can even have closer and dear relationships, because they are now in a state of joy, in a state of bliss, and they know everything. They know what we're dealing with. They know everything we've ever thought. They know the situation that they're at, and they love us now, and they so want to be involved and help us in our everyday life. So we're going to see if the boyfriend has any messages to us through the angels. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. You have some very strong, this is amazing. So the very first message he has for you is remember who you are. He wants you to know that you are a very powerful being, that you can absolutely be, do, or have anything that you wish in life. He wants you to realize your space and who you are, that you are in the very lead of expansion, that the angels are standing around you and all the inner energies are standing around you, waiting at your beck and call, waiting to hear what it is that you want to focus on and what you want to call forth into being. So it's number one about that. This is a powerful reading, I'm telling you. Your second card is about leadership. So this is about you stepping forward and being the leader in your life, deciding who it is that you want to be, how you want to be perceived, and who you are. So it's about you standing up in that power. So this is, oh my gosh, this is so, because the third card for you is the victory card. This is about that you have, or you are proclaiming forth what it is that you have asked for, what it is that you desire. And it is so right now there ready for you as you step into joy and take that walk in faith with inspired action. So it's about you knowing. So I'm not sure what it is that you've been asking for or wanting, but it is so right there. And if it's about connecting with your boyfriend, realize that a lot of times energies can step back into new energies. So that it might be possible that someone might come into your life who's very much reminds you of your boyfriend and can totally fill that role for you. It's about realizing that is possible. And the fourth power card for you is take back your power. So this has been a very, very powerful card reading for you. And this is about you stepping into your life, you taking control, realizing who you are, deciding what it is that you want. I mean, those are the power cards of this deck, and you got all four of them in one. I mean, you got all four of the power cards. So you are a powerful being. You are a leader. You are a victor, and it's time for you to stand up, decide who you want to be, how you want to express yourself, and then go for it, because it is yours. And he's going to be there with you every step of the way, giving you guidance as you step into joy. So it's about you stepping into joy, taking inspired action, and walking in faith, and knowing that he is holding your hand the entire way, and that you can be, do, or have anything. He wants you to be happy, and whatever that means, whether it's stepping into a new relationship or anything like that, he's not going to have any jealousy over that. He wants you to be happy. If that's having a new person in your life, and that's fabulous. It's about stepping into that. So I hope that did that resonate for you? Did that help you in any? If you let me know. And while we're waiting, I think, Ellen, didn't you come back again? And didn't you have a question about, was it about home and family? You'll have to remind me. Well, thank you so very much. I'm hoping that resonated for you and gave you clarity and gave you peace. That's absolutely what it was meant. But it's such a, I mean, oh my gosh, those were the power cards of the deck, and you got all four. So I'm so excited for you. Oh, home. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for reminding me. I have the shiny squirrel moments. So, so sorry about that. So we're going to take care of you right now. So we're searching for Candace for home, see what messages she has. And I'm doing a 4-card reading again for you. We're doing a lot of 4-card readings tonight. Okay, let's see what Candace has here. Okay, your first card is the breathe card. The breath is very powerful as far as releasing things, letting go of things, and just for us to get back into that sympathetic state in our bodies, to where we can actually feel who we are and get back in tune with our body, mind, and spirits. It's how our chakras get back in line. It's how we really get a sense of who we are. We start getting those knowings of what's right, what isn't right in our body. So it's about breathing, taking that breath, taking that relaxation moment, realizing that it's not all up to our effort, it's not all up to our own forced actions, but it's about just stepping in that space of knowing and allowing it to be, and just letting go. Okay, the second one is about a little bit different, take back your power, right after the breathe card. That's really interesting. So what this is really saying, it's about you realizing that you are at a point of power. I get kind of the idea that you felt that you were not the power component, in the home. And it's about you stepping up and you starting to say, this is the way it's going to be, come heck or high water. This is the way it's going to be. It's about you deciding that your home is your life, and it affects you, and that you have the right to call forth however it is going to be, in your space. And it's I get kind of the idea that there's been sort of like a power struggle going on of some kind. I don't know if it's between a child or a spouse. I'm almost kind of getting there's like a spouse and a child energy or something like that happening at the same time. It's about you standing up and proclaiming, this is, taking back your power and proclaiming this is the way this is going to be in the home. And that's it. There's no other questions. The next card for you is the nurture card. And this is very much about you putting on the velvet glove and taking back your power. It's very much about you not only taking care of yourself, but also showing the love and the peace to those that are involved in this situation. That as you work through this power struggle, that there are going to be those that are going to be upset and that kind of thing. And for you to just, be that power point, because you have the ability to do this, of not only taking back the power, but actually nurturing those who are going to be a little bit wonky because the power is going to be shifting. They're going to both be happy that it's happening and unhappy that it's happening at the same time. So just realize that people kind of go on this push-play, back and forth kind of state sometimes. And it's also about claircognizance. So this is about you just being aware of the different thoughts and feelings that come into your body. And it's very much about you getting in line, like with the breathe card. It's very much about you getting in line and just allowing spirit to guide you by how you feel, by your intuition of what's going to be the right and the wrong way to do this. So it's breathe. It's about you standing up and being the power in the household. It's about you, nurturing those that are going to be upset, including yourself. And it's about you listening for those, those signs and those thoughts and feelings that are happening in your body to let you know when you're on the right path and what's the right thing. Because I get this, that there's, a situation that's a little bit, difficult to even counsel yourself on that's happening right now. And it's about just stepping in, just allowing your body, your mind, spirit system to tell you what is the right and the wrong, or what is the best path. I would say, and I'm releasing it. Oh my goodness, that is just, oh my gosh, wow, my dear. Are you releasing the home? Is that what you're doing, or are you releasing the energy that's there? I can so see how you would feel like such a sense of powerlessness, in that situation, and how you would need to, really, nurture yourself in that, for sure. Does that resonate with you at all? Does that help you? If you'd like to talk a little bit more about that, we're completely here. You're releasing the home. I think that's, I think that's the best thing to do, because home really can, harbor energies. I know that for a long time, it wasn't my job because I always worked for myself, but I worked as a field inspector for mortgage companies. And so I would go into, a lot of vacant homes, beautiful. But I would go into a lot of vacant homes, and they would definitely have an energy. And it was also very interesting because sometimes a home would change ownership, from one person to another. And I would go back, and one month I would have the home, say, as being in foreclosure, and then 2 years later I would go back as a different homeowner, and the home had fire damage. And then 2 years later I'd go back and it was a completely different homeowner and be back in foreclosure. So it'd be the same home, but it just seemed to be having these struggles after struggles after struggles. So very much it's about you going into this new space. I would completely recommend to you to do some clearing exercises. If you'd like to know more about that, absolutely email me. I use sage. I also use a Tibet. It's a beautiful home, but bittersweet. So moving on. Oh, well, yeah, I get that, but that it's just not going to be the right one for you. And there's going to be. I'll tell you what. Let's all come together. We're going to ask for the perfect angelic home for Candace. I'm so excited about that. Let's do this. Let's call this forth. Alrighty. So Archangel Metatron is the archangel that I go to whenever I want to build like a structure. So I really think that he's the archangel that deals with sacred. You're so sweet. He's the archangel that deals with sacred geometric shapes. So let's call forth Archangel. If you will all hold your hands with me, spiritually speaking. Okay, just as the Bible says, when two or more come together with the same knowing and the same expectation, we can call it forth. So for Candace, we are calling forth the perfect angelic home situation for her. We're wanting to have, she considered her own home, her old home, to be beautiful. We want the next home to be even more beautiful, to be even more suited towards her. for her to be even more excited and more happy in this brand new space. We're asking that the angels go forth and actually clean out this space for her, make it perfect and beautiful, asking Archangel Metatron to come forward as the archangel that takes care of sacred geometric shapes, for him to create the perfect space for Candace so that she can grow and thrive and be the beautiful, loving creature that she is. And we call this forth as two or more with the same knowing, the same expectation, with total belief. And so it is. And it is done. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. We've got to see pictures. We've got to hear all about it. So I totally want you to come onto my Facebook page, The Angel Encourager. Tell me all about it, everything that's happening. You let me help you in any way. There's so many cool, awesome ways we can clear the space. I also deal with, with gems, and those are a great way to, and so it is, girl. That's right. And there's, we can hold that space with the gems. So, and it's I would adore to help you, because I've actually been called by a number of clients here recently to help them in clearing spaces. So I found that it's something that the angels absolutely love to do, and so I'm so excited for you to be able to move into a beautiful new space, and it's going to be even more beautiful, than the one that you're letting go of, and I think that's very important for you right now. That's fantastic. Well, I'm going to have to go pretty soon, but does anybody else have any kind of a reading or any question that they would like me to do before I go tonight? And thank y'all so much for the hearts. I sure truly appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody that's come with me tonight. I do want to make sure everybody knows that you can go to facebook.com, The Angel Encourager. I'd love for you to sign up for my free newsletter. I send one out every week. It's on Sunday, usually at 9 a.m. And I'm so grateful. Oh, thank you, my darling. You too. It totes goes back to you for sure, and you know that. So I would love for you to sign up for that. I'm a domestic one, in which archangel should I call on to help me. I would say I'm feeling right now for Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the protector. He's amazing. Oh, for healing, well, Archangel Raphael is great. I have to talk to you in person to get a reading. If it's something personal, absolutely. I mean, I can give you a reading here, but if it's something really personal that you want to discuss, you can actually message me on Facebook at The Angel Encourager. I will get back to you, and we'll figure out the best way to do it. But if you have something that we do here for you, I absolutely will. Now, with healing, you said you were domestic violence. I would actually call forth two archangels for you. So I would call forth Archangel Michael to, hey Mike, I would call forth Archangel Michael for protection for you. Let's do that right now. Archangel Michael, come forth. I'm seeing you circled right now in Archangel Michael's power to keep you protected. And I would also call forth Archangel Raphael. Now he's the Archangel of healing, and that can be emotional, mental, or physical healing. So I'm seeing him almost as like a green mist. I'm seeing him surround you. And making you feel whole and safe again. So now what I want you to do is I want you to call forth those two energies. I want you to call forth Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael to be with you. Archangel Raphael to give you healing, and Archangel Michael to give you protection. And it's about standing in that and knowing the great powers and the great energies that are around you. And as you call forth those energies, other beautiful, positive, loving energies are going to be there for you as well, providing protection and safety for you as well. Oh, thank you, my darling. Thank you so much for allowing me to connect. You just don't even realize, what it does for me as well, because I call myself the water slide of love. It's like angelic love just comes straight down through me to you, and I get to capture a little bit as it goes along. So believe me, I get lots of benefits out of it as well. I'm feeling, is there anybody else out there that would like to ask something or do a reading? I don't want to leave anybody behind before I go for the night. Is there anybody else that had any kind of question or reading they'd like for me to do, or anything I can help them with? I'm more than happy to. I want to make sure that you all, I'm sure tons of you have heard me say this so many times, but it is as simple as stepping into joy, taking inspired action, and walking in faith. And so let me dive into that just a little bit deeper about stepping into joy. So many times, that can cause a little bit of a judgment, because we're thinking, I'm not in joy. How do I step into joy? It's about going to that next best feeling that you have. If we're in depression, sometimes the next best feeling is anger. Think, oh, I appreciate you. So that might be the next best feeling is anger, and that's okay. Then the next best feeling might be frustration, and then the next best feeling might be hope. It's about stepping yourself, seeing it almost as a ladder. You just kind of like stepping up that ladder. And as you're stepping up that ladder, you're raising your own vibration. And as you monitor yourself, constantly just kind of monitor yourself, realize what it is in life that is bringing you down to those lower vibrations, and start, as much as you can, seeing them from either a different aspect, or perhaps eliminating them as much as you can, from your life. Sometimes it's about not calling that friend. Sometimes it's about not watching that TV show. Sometimes it's about, not reading those stories and books. Sometimes you have to change things. That's really happened for me. I mean, I used to read Dean Koontz, and John Grisham, and some of these other books, and Sue Grafton, and I used to, watch the crime TV, and I've really had to change, what I watch. I've had to change what I eat, because it takes me down out of the vibration. It's just not worth it to me. I no longer drink anything. And so, because that just cuts off my spiritual connection, and I'm in such, in such a high state, not always in joy, but it's what I always strive for, but I'm in such a high state almost all the time, I feel like I walked away from my calling, which causes doubt. Oh, you are never a failure. That's what I want you to know. What I want you to also know is the path starts with you. You're never off the path, because the path starts with you. So what you have done, thinking that you have not done your calling, what you have done is you've actually clarified more about what you don't want and what you do want. So get excited, because now, at this point, you know more than you did before. You know where you were, you know now where you want to be, you know what's possible for you to go to, and you know how you want to step into your new life. So right here in this very moment, no matter what you do, it's always going to be now. Whether you decide now, or now, or now, or now. It's always going to have to be now. So right now is the moment that you can make the decision to be victorious in your life. You can either decide to be a victim, or you can decide to be victorious. It's completely up to you. And we're standing in this space where we're holding you up, and we're saying now is the time for you to be victorious in your life. Now is completely the time of martyrdom is over. That's what the angels have told me. There was a time of martyrdom in the past, where people had to become martyrs so that we would know how to, we would be called forth to be more. Now is the time to stand up and to call forth what it is we want and be who it is we want to be. You're at the perfect place in your path right now for the next step. And so I am so excited for you. If you will simply decide to step into joy, you're going to get that clarity. And when you get that clarity, you're going to get that inspired action. And when you get that inspired action, I want you to walk through that flaming door of fear, because that's why the angels are telling me, sweetheart. I'm the angel encourager. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm the angel encourager, because I'm pulling you forth. I know who you are, and I'm calling you forth, darling, because I want you to be joyful and happy and full of bliss. That's what I want for you. And why? Because not only do I love you, the angels love you. The angels think you rock. It doesn't matter how low you think you are. It does not matter. You can't say or do or anything that's ever going to make them see you in any other space but through the complete unconditional love of love. I mean, just through that lens of unconditional love. And what does unconditional love mean? Unconditional love means that there's no condition on my love. It means I'm going to love you regardless. It also means I'm going to love me regardless. There's nothing that you can do or say or anything to me that's going to make me step out of love for myself. I don't require you to be anything or to do anything to make me happy. I simply decide to be happy. And that's the space that I want you to be in. I want you to decide to be happy. Have I always been this person? Heck no. But I made a decision. I made a decision in my 50s. I knew that year 50 was going to be a game changer for me. This year in September, I'll be 52. So this has been a very short path for me, but it's been such an amazing turn. Everything has completely changed for me, and everything is still changing. It's just miraculous. I mean, I've changed my career. I'm changing my home. My money is changing. My body has changed. I'm no longer on any of the medications they had me on. I was an alcoholic for 2 years. I mean, there's nothing. The only thing that you can say that you've been through that I haven't is actual childbirth. I mean, I've been the father of a child, so I've been there during childbirth, but I've never actually experienced childbirth. So that's the only thing that you can say that you've been through that I haven't. So I've been there. So what I'm saying to you is I understand, but I don't want you to stay there, because I know I know part of what's possible as children, always helping everyone and never thinking of myself. It all comes from you. It absolutely all comes from you. Like the old cliche saying, uh, the old cliches of saying that you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. In order to be a source of love to other people, you have to love yourself first. That's where it starts. I want you to fall head over heels in love with you because you are amazing. And there are so many different modalities and ways that you can do that. Number one, you can surround yourself like you are right now with people that truly love you and that are calling you forth. And there are people out there that will do that. You can start doing what I call mirror work. And there's two ways to do mirror work. The first way is to physically look in a mirror and you say the best thing about yourself you possibly can. You might start off with, hey, you're okay, and I appreciate you. What I want you to get to is like, you rock, dude. You rock. You are amazing, you are handsome, and you rock. That's what I want you to get to, that point. But sometimes you have to kind of go through, and when do you do mirror work? You do it as often as possible, at least once or twice a day. And I know it may sound silly, but it makes a huge difference. And what you're doing is you're looking into the very soul in your eyes, because the eyes are the path to the soul. And you're looking for that higher being that's within you that just projects pure love to you all the time. And that can be hard to do. I know when I went through what I call my highest, lowest moment, there were 6 months of my life. I feel like I've lost my soul. You can get it back, darling. I went through 6 months of my life where I physically could not look at myself in the mirror. I had broken my own heart. And I literally had to shave out of the corner of my eye because I could not stand the sight of my own reflection. And I'm telling you today, every time I pass the reflective surface, I'm like, you got it going on. You got it going on, dude. I mean, and that's just how it's changed for me. But it did not happen instantly. It happened just through the practice of it. I'll get a hold of you this weekend. Oh, I hope you will, because there is so much that we can call you forth for. The other part of mirror work, and this is really interesting, is that when you start realizing that you are the point of reference for your life, and the way that people react to you has to be a vibration that you're putting out. I know that I just here recently had a person that really judged me and shamed me, and I was in the mindful enough state to realize that in order for them to judge me and shame me, I had to be judging and shaming myself. So I decided that I was no longer going to judge and shame myself. And I came out of the third closet, which I'm going to announce right here to you. And when I would say what the third closet was before, I would be in total tears. And now I want you to look in my eyes as I say it. The first closet I came out is that I'm gay. The second closet I came out is that I was spiritual. And the third closet I came out of is that I was in prison for 4 months, back about 8 years ago. And before, if a month ago, if I had told you that, I'd be in total tears as I say it. But right now, I am no longer judging or shaming myself for it. I'm coming forth. I'm knowing that it's I give my authentic story and tell what I've been through, that it's not only going to help me, but it's going to help others. And that's the space I come from. So that's why I'm conveying to you that I have been through absolutely everything. You know what I mean? So except for childbirth. That's the one thing I have not been through. I don't think that's going to be one I'm going to have to worry about. I mean, I was there during the childbirth, and it was a beautiful thing. Oh, thank you so much, and blessings to all of you as well. So, but yeah, the other kind of mirror work is for you to see how people are reacting to you, because you have to be putting out that vibration for them to be acting that way towards you. So whenever somebody comes to me in kind of a wonky way, I'm like, what am I putting out there that's making this person react to me in that way? And it's a wonderful thing when people start treating you in a really nice way. You're like, man, I'm putting out some good vibrations. This rocks. And it's a kind of a thing, it's where you can kind of start realizing what you're putting out there by what you're getting back. And then you can kind of, acclimate yourself to that. And then you can have good vibrations coming back to you all the time. So are there any other questions or comments or anything else that I can help anybody with? And Mike, I'm so excited about getting with you this weekend. I think that's going to be a blessed time for both of us. I'm really, really super stoked about it. I'm not even lying to you. I ain't telling you nothing that ain't true, that's for sure. Is there any other comments or questions or anything anybody else has? I would love for you all to go to the Angel Encourager on Facebook, to I Love Mercy and Grace, me too. Awesome. What about when you're surrounded by negative or envious people? It's really about what you focus upon. When you're in a high vibration, think about it like have you ever had like a really just like joyously bouncy person come up to you, and what was the first thing you did? You probably ran. Well, that's what's going to happen when you walk into a room full of jealous or envious people. It's like you're talking up here and they're talking down there. You know, when they start saying, "Oh, life is terrible," and you say, "Yeah, but look how blue the sky is," and then they say something else, and you're like, "Yeah, but think about how the Earth is spinning perfectly in its axis," and they're down here, and you're like, "Don't you just love the green on that curtain over there?" And you just keep doing that. Guess what's going to happen? They're either going to shut up or get out of the way, or start speaking in your language. So it's just about keeping yourself in that space, and it can. I understand that it can at first it can be a little bit of a work and play, but you have to come down to their level in order to get to their level. You know what I mean? And also realize that if you reach down to pick them up, you have now unbalanced yourself. The best thing that you can do is you can stand up straight and true in who you are. You can put out that good vibration. They can either join you or not join you. That's their choice. You let them have their stuff and you have your stuff. It can be at first, but once you make it a habit, it's not challenging at all. It just becomes a way of life. It absolutely becomes a way of life. Once you get used to doing it, anything is a habit, and a habit is formed in 21 days. You have a habit of allowing other people to step you out of your good vibration. You have a habit of walking into a room in a really great mood and having somebody say one word to you and it tearing you down. That's your habit. And there's no judgment in that. That's just a habit. Start making it a habit of being mindful. What if one feels dragged down by them? Then leave. Don't be around them. You know, and if it's coworkers, then, you know, unless you have to talk to them, duck into your cubicle. If you can wear a headset and listen to happy music, do that. If you have to hum to yourself, la 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 la, whatever you use, whatever modality it is that you have to do. You know, if I'm sitting at a red light and somebody's playing some song I don't like, I just roll up the windows and I put on my happy song and I crank it up even higher. You do what you need to do in that situation, because the most important thing for you to do is stay. What about if you share space? Well, you know, and I've been in this situation. It's just about you doing what you have to do to be happy. It's about that, because when you keep yourself in as high of a state of bliss and high of a state of joy as you possibly can, then you're going to get clarity. You're going to get clarity about what to do. And I'm telling you, if you're in a shared space with somebody and you keep yourself in a joyful, blissful mood, and they are not there, they're either going to change, or they're going to move, or you're going to move. That's what's going to happen, because there's no way that vibration is going to stay the same. It just can't. The most important thing for you is for you to not try to reach down and pull them up, because when you do that, see how I get off balance when I do that and I no longer have the balance, and how easy it is for somebody to just reach over and pull me down. It's about you standing up in that joy, you staying in it. I mean, you have the right to ignore people. You absolutely have the right to ignore people. If somebody becomes abusive because you ignore them, then you need to go. You know, you got to do what you got to do to take care of yourself. You have to realize that you have options. There are things that you can do. There are places that you can go. There are people that you can call. There are people that will help you, whatever the situation is. I mean, I work with a divorce attorney, so I know the number of people that feel like they have no options. But there are options. You know, sometimes you have to go through what I would call like maybe an ugly neighborhood to get to a nice place. It's about not, and what I mean by that is they, you know, maybe they have to go to a shelter, or maybe they have to do something that they thought they would never have to do if they are otherwise alone and sick. That's why I was saying you have to you have to let them have their stuff. You let them have their stuff, and you have your stuff. Because I've had to divorce part of my family. When I say divorce, I'm not talking about a wife, even though I did divorce my ex-wife. You know, she's fine. But I had to divorce my actual physical family because they were going to absolutely do nothing but tear me down. They were going to make me, I mean, I was literally at the point of almost killing myself. So it was a point between, am I going to live and am I going to be joyful? Or am I going to surround these people with, you know, that are just trying to tear me down and want nothing but to just suck the very life out of me? So I had to make that decision. So I don't contact most of my family. I don't allow them to contact me. I allow them to contact me, but I stay on that vibration of, if we're going to talk, this is what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about this. As soon as they go there, I just put the phone down. I mean, that's just the point. You know, they know that if we start talking down here, Pete's going to put his phone down. If we start talking back up here, we can talk. So it's just about you being the leader in your life, about you being the source of power. You take back your power, you be the leader, you decide, you make clear-cut intentions of how it's going to be, how you're going to step into your life. Realize that you're a beautiful being. You're meant here to be joyful. You're meant to be blissful. That's what you're meant for. That's why it feels so good. Have you ever wondered why being joyful and happy and being blissful feels so good? It's because that's what you're supposed to do. That's why feeling sad and depressed and lonely feels so bad, because that's not who you are. That's not what you're supposed to do. I mean, why would God create such a gorgeous planet filled with so many wondrous things and places for us to go if it wasn't for us to enjoy it? Would it make any sense, for him to create, the beautiful peacock and the waterfalls and all the different colors of the flowers? If we were supposed to be here to be depressed, why isn't everything gray? Everything isn't gray. Everything is full of color. Everything is full of music and sound and movement and energy. And it's because any angel I can ask for help in getting out of this. I agree. I love being happy. I'm getting for you Archangel Ariel, actually, which is interesting. Archangel Ariel. She's the archangel that deals with not only abundance, she also deals with the natural world. And so what I'm getting for you is for you to really step outdoors, for you to take advantage of the natural world that surrounds you. And you can live in the city and still be surrounded by the natural world, because there's still going to be trees and parks. I really get for you of just listening, maybe perhaps it might even have just be a recording of a stream or the ocean or whatever resonates with you, for you to listen to the wind. Right, you feel the nature. Okay, it's about, because when you are in nature, you are in tune with spirit, because spirit is all over nature. So I'm hearing Archangel Ariel for you. She's the archangel that takes care of natural resources. She's the archangel that takes care of the animal kingdom, whether it's wild or wild animals or pets, doesn't matter. She's also the archangel that takes care of what they call the elementals, which is like the fairies and that type of thing. I've actually seen a fairy one time, which is very interesting to me. I didn't know that I really connected with fairies, and they haven't really told me anything, but there are other different types of energies, and they're called the elementals. They're more of a sort of a caretaker energy that takes care of the earth, as far as like bringing the dew and those different types of things, and recycling water and all that. That's what they deal with. But I hear Archangel Ariel for you, which is, that's not who I expected, but that's who came forward for you. She's also the archangel of courage. She is the lioness of God. So it's very much about you embodying that. When you think of it almost as like, Beyonce has Sasha Fierce. I know for me, I have a tattoo of a lizard right here. I don't know if you can see it. His name is Spike. And sometimes, especially when I am at the gym and I'm running out of power, I call for Spike. I'm like, what would Spike do? So perhaps create yourself an alter ego. I have a very dear friend of mine, and her alter ego, I call her Scarlet. And because kind of like with Gone with the Wind, I'm like, oh, you're being Scarlet right now, and I'm liking it. So you create yourself an alter ego. Create yourself a personality of who would I be? Who would be a really stand up kind of girl that would take this. It wouldn't take that. That would stand up for who, and you like, what would she do? And start embodying that. Start realizing how you can kind of integrate that whole new part that really is you, into who you are, and changing your life. And I'm really excited for you, because you're going to be able to help not only yourself, you're going to be able to help others. And right now, I think you're in a state of where you think this person is helpless, and you're almost feeling like a little bit of maybe pity. And think of how you're enabling that person. You're really not allowing that person to grow. I know that I've been in a relationship for a long time that I'm merely stepping out of, where it's become almost like this father-son thing, where I'm paying for everything and I'm taking care of everything. And I suddenly realized I'm not doing this person any good. I'm simply enabling them. They never have to, really work hard. Or when I say work hard, they never really have to earn any income. Grow or leave the plane. So, I really realized that I'm not helping that person at all, because they're not able to grow, because I'm keeping them in a space where they don't have to grow. So the most loving thing for me to do is to get out of the way and to make them really be responsible for themselves. So realize that a lot of times we get into this if they wasn't for me, they would die. Well, you're just enabling them, and you're not helping them to grow. And life is about growth. Life is about expansion. We're all energy, and energy is in constant motion, or it's miserable, one or the other. Because trapped energy is not happy energy. Energy is only happy when it's in movement, and it's growing, and it's flowing. So I hope that helps you, my darling. Does anybody else have any questions? I probably need to go here pretty soon. Entertain any of the questions or anything anybody else has. They helped you? Yes. And I want you to Facebook message me. Facebook message me and ask me any of the questions or tell me how it's going. I mean, if I can help you in any way, I mean, I'm totes telling you the truth. I would love to connect with you, help you in any way that I can. Any more messages from the angels, totally here for you. Well, I don't see anybody else with any other messages. Been on here for quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, adieu, I guess. And I want you all to have a beautiful evening. Know that I love you so much, and the angels love you so much, more than you can ever imagine. They send so much love through me to you, and I'm so grateful for that. Love, peace, and release.